All right. So let me give a brief intro of who you are. You are Flinttown Sportscards, and you are a whatnot streamer, obviously a Detroit Lions fan, and you're missing Ben Johnson. You are the creator and founder of the NFC North Show on Whatnot. You sold over 4,100 cards with a 5-star rating on Whatnot, and you have 2,677 followers on Whatnot. So you're hitting close to 3,000.
Finally.
So yeah, finally.
Finally.
But it's a grind, right?
It is a grind. Very, very grind.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, let's start off with what you experienced at the Nationals. So you went to the National. That was last weekend, right?
Yep, last weekend.
Okay, last weekend. And the National, for people that don't know, is the biggest card show of the year, along with, I guess, Fanatics Fest is more like a sports event, and the National is more like a card show experience. So that was in Chicago last week. Flinttown went there for the first time, and he's going to give us some lessons learned and tell us a little bit about his trip. Like you're in Flint, Michigan, right?
Yep.
Or yeah, so like
just outside of Flint.
So how far of a drive was it for you?
So we left. I went with 3 other guys, and we met downtown area of Flint, and we left at 4:30. We got there at like 9:30. So 4.5 hours, right? Give or take.
Yeah. Did you go with buddies? Did you go with buddies from there, or like are they on Whatnot as well?
Couple of them are on Whatnot,
okay.
And the other 3 guys that I went with also set up at card shows with me. Like we all get tables next to each other.
Right. Nice. So what was your first like reaction when you finally got there? You guys are parked, walking towards the venue and everything. What was your first reaction? Like how long was that line?
It was pretty long. We got there about an hour before it started, and we probably were like 100 yards away from the door in a line.
Oh, okay. Yeah. How long did you wait that line?
An hour. It was about an hour.
An hour. Oh, okay.
Yep. Till they opened up the doors.
Did it feel like an hour, or what? Or was it kind of like moving? Was it moving a little fast?
It felt like it moved pretty quick. Like I know, like when we walked over there and we got in line, a couple of the guys were like kind of comping some of the cards that they brought to sell, and then we were just talking to people around us.
Okay, that's cool. So, what do you like? What did you bring? Like, did you have a backpack? Did you have one of those rolling like carts? Or...
So my kid actually has a Zion case, like the 3-row one. So I actually borrowed that from him, and I took that. But,
so it's just one that you carry, or can you put it like?
Yeah, like it's a carry.
Is there like a strap?
It's a carry one. Just that.
Now, when you go next year, would you still bring something like that, or would you bring something that you could put like on like a backpack or something you can strap on?
To be honest, I'm gonna buy a roller.
A
rolling one. Yeah, I know they're on Zion's website, like the carry-on rollers, and I'm going towards that. Because then you can sit on it too. If you want to go up to a table, look at a bunch of cards, you can sit on that.
Right. Okay. And so was there enough room once you got inside, is there enough room for you to roll that around?
It's very tight. Very tight.
Yeah.
I think they said there was 1,000 tables and 25,000 people that went through there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I mean, you would be able to roll it, but it is very crammed in there. you're right next to people constantly.
So how many
That's
floors was the show? Was it like 2, 3 floors?
Yeah, they had 2 floors,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know if you've ever been to that in
No,
Chicago.
no.
That there's a couple like different kind of sections, like rooms
Okay.
wise,
Mm-hmm.
or it felt like that you were going through. I never made it upstairs. I think a lot of guys were up there like doing trading and stuff like that.
Okay. Okay.
Like that was dedicated for trading. And I heard that was up there was
Okay.
very crammed.
Yeah, yes. Like from all the like the YouTube videos I saw of it, like a lot of people. I mean, it just looks so busy.
It was very busy, uh, almost
What?
overwhelming.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it was my first show at
Mm-hmm.
Nationals. So for, I think I told you this when we talked, for the first 3 hours, I felt almost lost and didn't know what I was
Right,
doing. And I
right.
felt like I was just circling back around and just staring into space, pretty much.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think it's
Did
just the grasp of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Now, did you stay with those other dudes the whole time, or did you guys kind of like split off?
No, we maybe stayed with each other for like 5-10 minutes, and then we kind of dispersed, and we had
Yeah, yeah,
a spot that we were all going to meet up with each
yeah,
other.
yeah.
We
So you all kind of like did your own thing and then met up. Yeah.
Yep.
Did you get any free stuff like from the eBay thing or any
I
of the
got a
other vendors there?
I got a couple little free things, nothing crazy. Um
Right.
there I think if I we would have went earlier on in the week, less people. I mean, Saturday is their heaviest day.
Yeah.
Probably
Right.
Friday and
Right.
Saturday.
Yep.
So like they were still handing out stuff. Like Golden was handing out Netflix envelopes with popcorn in it because their season's coming up for Netflix.
Right.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
they were doing like
Yeah.
popcorn giveaways. So
Right. Now, like, did you buy any kind of like special packs or anything that are like the national exclusives?
no, to be honest, I didn't even see any of that stuff. And I don't know
Oh,
if
okay.
it's
Okay.
just
Yeah. So,
I didn't get in that area or
right. No, I mean, like, it's just something like it's there, but if you didn't see it, that just like that goes into like what you were saying, like how you were overwhelmed, like
yes.
so
Yeah.
much hitting you at one time and everything, and
Yes.
like you're like, what do I do? Like, what do I do? Yeah, and so like I already know the answer to this, but like for anybody that's listening, did you buy anything at the National?
So I was looking around. I didn't know what I was like. I brought cards to sell because I've heard it's a good time to sell at the
Yep.
Nationals. So I brought a lot thinking, hey,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to sell some of my bigger cards that might not move in my area. So I was looking
Right.
around for 2x2, like more for my PC than anything
Yeah.
else. And I almost pulled the trigger on a Barry Sanders card that I kind of wanted
Mm-hmm.
myself because it was something that I don't see a lot. But I
Right.
decided not to. I was like, I had in the mindset, I came here to sell more. But
Right.
I did buy 2 cards. And that was actually at trade night. I didn't even buy anything at the Nationals. It was at
Okay.
trade night.
Now, how long were you at trade night for?
Uh, so we left Nationals around like 4:30, then went
Okay.
to our hotel to check in. And after that, we were all hungry. So we went and grabbed something to eat. And probably like an hour and a half, we sat and ate and stuff, and then went to the trade night. I think we were there for like maybe 2 hours, 2.5 hours, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So
Now,
yeah, 8 to 10 around.
okay. So with your like the experience that you had, like when we all go next year, because I'll be there next year, um, do you think one day is enough, or do you feel like you need to be at that card show like for at least 2 days or maybe even more?
I think minimum of 2 days.
2 days,
Uh,
yeah,
like, or 3, to be honest.
yeah,
Like,
right,
just to, because if you've never been there, it's going to overwhelm you right off the
right,
bat. Like, it, and I go to some bigger shows, and I've
hmm
never been to nationals. So it was like, I walked in and I just seen a sea of people, and
right,
all you're doing is like, just kind of in awe almost.
yeah. You're taking everything in, yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So probably like one day to kind of get your bearings, and then kind of scope out the place, and then
Yep.
remember like some of the vendors that you see, because because you said obviously people are selling, and I'm sure everything is over comps there.
There was a lot of that, like probably 120% over,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
people
Now,
over.
do you think some of those sellers were like willing to negotiate to possibly go under comps, or were they pretty firm?
I think a lot of them were probably firm. I'm sure
Right,
you could, find your, if you're bundling cards, I'm sure guys will be willing to work with people, but
right.
it's all different dealers, and if it's 1,000 different dealers, I'm sure there's guys out there that willing to work with people.
Right. So when you sold your stuff, like were you over comps at your starting point, like when you were trying to sell, and then what did you end up? Like did you end up finding like at 80%, or were you able to get comps enough?
Like, I priced my stuff a little over because I know
Mm-hmm.
they had all
Yep.
theirs priced over.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and they probably, a lot of them were hitting me like at 80%, which I
Yeah.
get it. They got to make their
Yep.
money and everything like that.
And like
Um,
80%'s not bad.
no,
Like
it's not.
because
It's,
because on our end, like we want to buy things like hopefully at like 50 to 70%. And if we could sell
yes.
things 80 to 90, that's a plus.
Yeah.
Um, but all right, so that's good. So what are some like so now we'll talk about like the do's and don'ts. Like so what are the things that like you think are must like things that you have to do like if you're going to the national?
The must, to be honest, I would have like almost like written on a piece of paper, either like,
Mm-hmm.
if it's your first time, especially, like,
Right.
what are you looking for, just so you
Mm-hmm.
don't get distracted, because I know I felt totally distracted and like not knowing where to go, and that
Right. So like go in with a game plan, like
go
of
in
what
with a game
yep,
plan.
like what you want.
Yep.
Yeah.
uh Depends, like, set a budget,
Yeah.
give yourself a budget, and there's there's good deals out there. You don't have to have some like 1,000 plus to go to the nationals. Like, if you want to buy a
Right.
lot of stuff, yeah, you're gonna bring that. And I've seen videos of guys, how much have you spent? Well, 10K,
Yeah.
well, that's not feasible for a lot
Right,
of
right.
people,
Yeah. Yeah.
in this hobby. There's some guys that bring $500,
Right.
but you can bring $300 to $500 and have fun, and
Yeah.
find something that you're looking for.
Okay. What about hotel? Do you recommend getting a very nice hotel?
You already know where I'm going
I
with
know,
this
I
one.
know, I know. But that would be a do, right? That would be a
Yes.
must have. Like
Oh,
make sure spend a little extra on a nice hotel.
100% people spend the extra money for a nice hotel, because so a couple of my friends are a lot younger than me, and they might be on a different budget than I am.
Yeah.
I'm willing to pay a nice amount for a hotel because I got to sleep there. It's got to feel like home,
Right.
or better.
Right.
Um, we we stayed in a I call it, if anyone knows where Flynn is, it's like Dort Highway. The you don't want to stay there.
Right.
it's yeah, I pay the good money for a nice hotel. So you get
Right.
good sleep too,
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm sure there's deals are out there.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure like if you want right by the place, it's going to be more,
Right.
just in simple like terms of accessibility.
Yeah.
So you could walk to the National.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, I guess another must have would be like comfortable shoes, like, cause you're gonna be walking a lot.
Yeah. I mean, we were on our feet all day long.
Yeah.
And I wear Chuck Taylors, and Chuck Taylors are not comfortable, but I'm used to that.
They are not. They're not.
Yeah, they're not comfortable. But like my feet didn't kill me because I'm used to wearing them all the time. But yeah, comfortable shoes.
Yeah.
Water. Bring an extra, couple bottles of water or something to drink.
So can you bring in drinks and food in, like, when you come in?
I don't know about food, but like I had a backpack on me also that like I had a sweatshirt on.
Yeah.
Or I had a sweatshirt in my backpack just in case. I'm sure I could put waters in there and stuff like that, and they're not going to say anything.
Yeah.
Because everything is marked up at the
yeah
National.
So. Oh yeah. So like for a lot of people that don't know Flint, and he's not a chubby dude like myself. So when he says he's bringing a sweatshirt in the middle of the fucking summer, this dude probably weighs like 95 pounds. So
I do not weigh 95 pounds. I do not weigh that. No, not at all.
I guarantee I would not be bringing a sweatshirt in the summer in Chicago.
Hey, I tell you though, I know a lot of people were sweating.
Yeah.
In Cleveland when it was last year. I heard horror stories of like the AC wasn't working and people were like drenched in sweat. In Chicago, it was actually chilly in there, even with all the people. Like the AC was kicking.
That's good that that's good. That's really good, especially for the amount of people that were in there.
Yeah, because it could have got really hot, but it was comfortable. It was very comfortable. Oh, what happened?
Uh-oh.
Oh, what happened?
Oh, I don't know. Okay, there we go. We're back. We're back. All right, so we're back. So how was cell phone reception? Like, were you able to check comps on your phone and everything, like, while you were there?
Yeah.
Okay. That's another thing I heard, like, at some other shows, sometimes it's hard to get cell phone reception, and like you can't check comps and everything.
I had full bars.
Good.
And normally my phone in certain areas don't get that great.
No, that's good to know. Did you bring a power bank with you, like in case if your phone was draining battery?
No, but that is a good idea.
Okay.
If you're there for all day, you might want to.
Right.
Extra power bank and plug in your phone, because if you're on your phone checking comps and like you could get halfway through your day and not, have a cell phone anymore.
Right. So when you were walking around, I'm sure you saw a lot of content creators. Did you see their film crew with them?
The people that I seen Card Collector 2. He was at his booth. I seen Gary V. He was at his booth. Talon.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm a huge fan of him.
Yeah, I like Talon. Yeah. I watch his stuff all the time. I think it was Talon. I'm almost positive. He was doing with eBay.
Okay, yeah.
I don't I want to make sure, but I almost 100%.
We're talking about the same person. Yeah. What about, did you see Backyard Breaks there?
No, I did not.
Okay. Oh, I saw a lot of their stuff on social media because they were randomly putting like cards in secret spots, and if you watch their video, you could try to find it. And they were doing like 1 of 1 PSA 10s and stuff like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I think it's mainly because a lot of kids will watch their social media, so like a lot of the kids will find it that they also had a claw machine there where they put like
cool.
a whole bunch of graded stuff, and they like all the kids like I guess it was free, and some kids
I didn't even see that.
Yeah, so like I saw in one video this kid pulled out like a Justin Herbert rookie auto PSA 10, and then they got the main guy from Backyard Breaks, and he pulled it out of the claw machine, and then he offered him like 80% comps right there if the kid wanted to sell it, and the kid's like, yeah, I'll take the money. Like
that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, and then he put it back in the machine. So it's kind of cool that they did that. It seemed like a lot of the content creators and some of the vendors try to do things where, especially kids, got like a lot of free stuff in some way. Because I know Talon sometimes gives out like, if you buy something for $10 for him, and if you mention something, he'll give you like some like $150, $200 card or something.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like I have a 10-year-old. You have a kid, like a couple kids young.
Yeah.
And I kind of like that. It kind of hits a point, and we like me doing card shows too. Like if a kid comes up and throws out a price, I try to like, even if there's times I've lost money, but
right.
If
some of those kids are ruthless too.
And some of them are.
Yeah, some of them have like $50,000 worth of cards in there. It's like, man.
Yep.
I want your parents.
Yeah. And some of them are ruthless. Like they will be like, take this for, and cut you right in half. But, you can tell which kids are like kind of shy and like, I try to hook up the kids, like that's why we're all in this, because we were kids.
One of the kids that comes to my show, Monroe Cards, pointing at you.
Monroe.
We always want to hook him up because he's got awesome parents, especially the mom. Like, if you know, you know.
That's funny.
But all right, so what are some of the like don't do's, like what not to bring or what not to do when you're there, because or like you might be wasting your time on some things. Like don't stay in a crappy hotel. That's one.
Yeah, don't stay in a bad hotel, people. Don't stay in a bad hotel. You don't want to come home with bed bugs.
Right.
I didn't though, but bring don't overspend. Like
stick
set
to your
a
budget.
Number and stick to a budget. You can still have a bunch of fun, and you can meet people, like don't go there just like kind of closed-minded, I guess.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like try to be open-minded and like talk to people.
Yep.
Because you never know, like people might know who you are, or you might know them.
Yeah.
But this hobby is all about connections.
Yep.
If you don't have connections, that's how you grow in this hobby.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And that can go under like one of the must things, or on the do list is brand yourself, especially if you're a content creator or if you sell cards. Brand yourself, like you got your Flinttown Sportscard hat right there that you got made for the National and everything. Yep. So and you told me that you wore that there.
Yeah,
and everything.
I wore it.
Definitely brand yourself. If you have like business cards or anything like with a QR code, that way people can, because you said you probably picked up some more followers by just people, finding out that you're Flinttown Sportscards there, and then they might have went on into your Instagram or whatnot and added you.
Yep.
Yeah.
And actually, I got to meet a couple guys that come into my Whatnot lives. I met, and he's a Bears fan, Dom, I got to meet Dom. Dom's a really cool guy. We just chatted it up for a little bit. And then Tom, I don't know if you know who Tom is, but Tom's a cool guy too.
No,
even though they're Bear fans.
I don't know. Yes, they are Bear fans, but Dom is also a White Sox fan, which is horrible. because you can't like the White Sox if you're in Chicago. It's got to be straight Cubs all the
Cubs.
way. Yeah.
Oh, and so we went Saturday morning and we got there early Saturday so we could spend the whole day. But Sunday we left, but we went downtown.
Yeah.
And guys, if you're going out of state and you're going to these bigger shows, check out, the surroundings and check out food and there's some good food everywhere,
Right. Yep.
And go check out scenery. We went and walked downtown Chicago, and we were even talking if we all did decent, on selling, we were thinking about hitting a game for baseball.
Yeah.
But I don't think they were playing because I would love to go to Wrigley just to experience
right. Yeah.
Wrigley Field. I've never been, so
yeah. So they were in town. They were playing the Reds because I saw a couple people that went to the National. I think they got there on Wednesday, and then they did the show Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then they went to a Saturday Wrigley game or something.
That's cool.
But next year, it'll be in Chicago again.
Yep.
I definitely want to be there for at least 3 or 4 days, 2 days at the National at the card show, and then maybe another day or two to spend around Chicago because you got the Tom Brady card vault next to Wrigley Field. I would love to go to a Wrigley game. I would love to go flick that bean. And then and then maybe go to Caleb's nail salon and get my nails done, or something, or take the wife there to get her nails done.
Go Bears.
But yeah, no, that's very good advice. And definitely got to hit up strip clubs or something just to get the overall experience of the Chicago
lifestyle. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I got one more question about the National. So I know you didn't bring your kid. So, and you have, I think your kid is, he's not a teenager yet. And I got two. I got an 8-year-old and a 9-year-old, and next year they'll be 9 and 10. So, what age do you think is a good age to bring your kid with you to the National? Because I think maybe if they're not a teenager, that still might be too young. Especially if it's your first time going.
Yeah.
I mean, kids are stressful as it is, but would you consider taking your son next year?
That's a hard one because he was bugging me to want to go, and I wanted to take him, but to be honest, how many people there are there, and you're pretty much snaking through people,
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a good idea bringing a young kid there.
Yeah.
And that's just my
I agree.
Personal preference.
Yeah.
Just because there's so many people, and if you turned your head the wrong way and your kid's not on you,
right?
You'd be like, "What? Where's my kid at?" And I'm not saying I lose my kid all the time, but there's just a ton of people.
Right. Yeah. No, I mean, I even when I go to card stores now with my kids, they annoy the hell out of me because I'm trying to focus on making a deal or looking at cards, and then they're like, "Dad, I'm bored," or "Dad, look at this," and they're showing me Pokemon cards or something. I don't care about the Pokey stuff.
The Pokey.
But so I can only imagine it's 100 times more stressful in that environment. Yeah, I agree with you. I think maybe as they get older, maybe in the teenage years, because it's something that you're probably going to be going to almost every year.
Yeah. To be honest, I'm already gonna put that in the for I want to spend a couple days down there next time.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take a couple days,
and then next year's in Chicago, and the year after that's in Detroit. So it's gonna be. It's going to be near you. I think you said you're about 45 minutes away from it.
45 minutes. No traffic, 45 minutes.
All right, let's move on. Let's move on to yeah, right. Let's move on to like your background and everything. Um, so like I said earlier, you're a whatnot streamer, but you do go to card shows. You started doing that. Started being getting tables at card shows, and you've had a lot of success with that. Um, like how you jumped into whatnot and how you just jumped into card shows and you learn as you go is why I keep telling you to start your LLC. Just jump into it and just do it.
I know,
Like,
I know.
yeah. But so what got you into um like were you a sports card like kid? Like when you're growing up, did you collect sports cards?
Yeah, actually, so the funny thing is, I was kind of my son's age when I got
Yeah.
into sports cards around like 9 or 10 years old. My grandpa used to take us up north, and
Right.
anytime we would stop at a gas station or anywhere to like fill up or eat, and there was a place to buy sports cards, my grandpa would buy us packs of sports cards. So that's kind of
Right.
how I got into sports cards at a young age. My grandpa was a diehard Tigers fan and Lions fan and like sports in general. He was a diehard.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I probably was into that until like I would say like around 15, up until 15 years
Yeah.
old. I was mostly hockey because the
Mhm.
Wings were really good at that time. You know, everybody in this area loved the Wings. So it was
Yeah. Yeah.
a big hockey town, and that's why they called it
Right.
Hockey
Right.
Town.
Yeah.
but Barry, like everybody loved Barry when growing up. Lions
Yeah.
were always there, even the bad years. Um, and I got out of it after like probably 15, and I got back into it when a card shop down the road from me opened up. I took my kid,
Mhm.
and he got hooked, and then that's how now you see me. I just went straight in and
Yep.
kind of haven't looked back, you know?
So when you say like you like kind of got out of the hobby when you were 15, so that's probably when you started noticing Latina chicks and got into your low riding stuff.
Yep.
Got into your low riding stuff because like you
Yep.
do a lot of car stuff. Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And then so that's probably what let in high school you're probably doing a lot of low rider stuff.
I was.
Because I know you're working on that truck, that fucking
Yep.
awesome truck that you got.
Thank you.
Um. Yep. and um and then so a card shop opened up near you, and then you brought your kid and kind of got you back and everything. That's
Yeah.
that's similar to like how I got back into it. A card shop opened up like in the shopping center right next to my neighborhood, which I had heard about it, but then one of my daughters, like her girlfriend's like little brother, like I guess went there and like bought some card or something. I don't know, but he got like some $200 card, and my daughter told me about it. I was like, oh, I'm like, well, let me go check that place out. And so I went there, and they had the Griffey, the '89 Upper Deck Griffey rookie card, and I always wanted that card when I was a kid. But
Yep.
when I was a kid, like 60
Yeah.
to $100 like was a lot of money.
Yeah.
And then so I made it a goal, like, all right, I'm gonna get that card, but I'm gonna trade cards towards it. I don't want to just buy it outright because I have grown up money, right?
Yeah.
So, and then that got me into the hobby, and I just started doing everything, and I eventually traded some cards for it, and I think I paid like $40 and then traded the rest of the cards for it because it was a PSA 9. And then so you still go to that card shop, right?
Yeah. I still go to the card shop.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yep.
they kind of know me by name now, and
Yeah. Yeah.
made almost a
Yep. Same with the one
relation.
that. Yep. Same with the one right next to my house. Like they call me Dad Bod.
Yep.
Which is it was like about like 8 months to like, dude, what's your real name? Like, I was like, oh, I'm like, it's Gary, but you can call me whatever. Like, you call me Dad Bod. Like my kids' friends are now calling me Dad Bod and everything. But and I'm sure just like with you, a lot of people will call you Flint or
Yep.
Flinttown. Like I never call you by your name. I always just
I
call
never
you Flint.
call you either.
Like,
I always say
right?
Dad Bod.
And then soon it's gonna be Hollywood Flint and all that.
Oh, whatever.
Wait, which came from Arkuk, you know, Arkuk. Same person.
Yep, same person.
Yeah. So that got you into the hobby. So how long have you been selling on Whatnot?
I think I'm coming up. I don't know the exact date, but I think I'm coming up for 2 years soon.
2 years. Okay.
Yeah.
So I started in April of 2024. So like I'm what is it now? It's August. So I'm at 16 months now doing it and everything. So you're about at almost 2 years.
Maybe I'm not that much. I don't even. Maybe
so for
I got.
I don't know, Flint, math and spelling and speaking is his
reading.
Strong suit.
What? Maybe I because I didn't start on Whatnot and go directly to selling. Like I signed up, and then I was buying, and then I got sucked into the selling thing. So I might have been on it.
So you were on Whatnot for a while. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I'd say
I gotcha. Yeah, no, like, yeah, I never heard of Whatnot until that card store told me about it, the one next to my house. And the owners were completely honest, like, don't go on it. It's addicting. And like for anybody that's listening and they don't know about Whatnot, it can get very addicting because you could tie it to your bank account, you can tie it to your credit card, and you just swipe. And that swiping gets addicting. And like just like what he was saying about the National, try to budget yourself. Don't go crazy swiping. You really have to have a lot of self-control because there's a lot of people in the hobby that, I mean, they treat it like gambling. And
yeah, you're right.
Like that can lead towards, bad stuff, especially like for us, we both work and support our families and everything. Like we can't fall into that hole of like, oh crap, now we're in like thousands of $1,000s of card debt just because, because, but Flint and myself, we're both pretty similar in the mindset, like on how we approach things and everything, especially with Whatnot. So you started selling on Whatnot. I know it was this year when you started selling at card shows, right? Becoming a vendor at card shows.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, this year.
And so what do you like selling at better, or explain like the differences between selling at a card show and selling on Whatnot? Like for you,
I'd say like Whatnot, you're at your house, so you don't need to travel. You don't, it's at your home. You can have fun doing it. You know how I am. I like to have a couple beers, chill, relax. My wife
Modelo's.
Normally helps Modelo's. The wife, helps me out a lot on that, especially my bigger shows. The thing about Whatnot, like if you're not really good at reading that chat, because that chat can start like you can lose it, you know what I mean? Like because you're not always looking at it. So because you're trying to run something, you're trying to grab another card, or it's kind of fast paced. Depends, you can be slower pace and kind of like
now you use your phone, right? Do you use your phone?
Yeah, I use my phone.
Yeah. So like, and that screen is smaller than, because I know some other people, they'll run on their phone, but they have the chat up on like a desktop, and like you can see more of the chat. But you're right, like I just monitor out of my phone, and it is easy to get lost in that chat, especially, I mean, like we've had probably like 40 or 50 people at most in our rooms. I can't imagine like the dudes that have like 400 people in the room. There's no way they're keeping up with their chat. There's no way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because it's moving so quick.
Yep. Yeah.
That in 1 second it's gone.
Yep.
The thing about card shows that I like, it's personable. You know, you come up to the table and we have a conversation.
Yep.
And that's kind of, I like that. You know, you get to know people, you see the same faces, you have almost like a relationship, you know, like you get to know someone, you know, if you can do a little bit better on this card, you know, if it's the same guy coming to you all the time, you kind of make that connection with people.
Yeah, yeah. Like some days you'll hook him up with like a deal because you know he'll come back.
Yeah,
and then other days,
exactly.
Like when you want to stay like when you want to stay firm on your price, like they'll be like, all right, you know what, you hooked me up in the past, like I'll stay. Yeah, I got you.
Exactly, and they understand. Yeah, most people do. Yep. Most people understand. Right. Like sometimes the margin ain't, you know, like you don't have that much of a margin.
Right, right.
You know, sometimes you do, and you have more wiggle room.
Yep.
But sometimes you don't have that big margin on certain cards.
Right. So between the three, Whatnot, card shows and card stores, like the brick and mortar places, which one like when you're selling, which one do you think that you'll get closer to comps at selling between those three? Like if you're selling at a card store, if you're selling at a card show, or a Whatnot?
It all depends. I feel like bigger cards, I would say Whatnot and card shows. You're gonna, if you're selling, I'd say you get closer. The brick and mortar, they have to, you know, they have an overhead. So they're gonna have to buy the stuff a lot cheaper than if you're going to sell them cards. And I get that. Yep. Like I try to support my local card shop as much as I can. You know, I'm in there maybe 3 days a week. That sounds pretty bad, but you know, I've made a good relationship with them. And like they try to work with me because they understand, and I give them a lot of my business just because, you know, I'm always in there.
Yep. No, I have the same mentality about like, if I see a card shop, like I'm going to support them because one is not easy running a business.
It's not.
You're right. Like sometimes I'll sell them cards and I know that they'll give me like maybe like 50 or 60% of comps, but I'm okay with that because I want them to stay in business, because them being in business there is just better for the hobby. And then there's also like, if I'm low on inventory and they got stuff coming in, like now, whenever they get new stuff, the owner will shoot me a text and he lets me get first dibs on some of their bigger cards.
So, and that's
because they, you know, and how they sell. Yeah.
Like just what you said there to the people that are going to be seeing this, make connections with your local card shop, because like he just said, making that connection and they know what you're looking for and you are in there all the time, that's a great opportunity.
Yeah, I agree. Like I was scrolling through TikTok and there's one guy, like, I mean, I guess he dabbles in Pokemon stuff, but he always went to that card store, and then, you know, he didn't like the prices on some that they were giving, and he's like, well, I'm not going to go back there anymore. And I put a comment on his page. I'm like, dude, they're a business, you know, like you can't take it personal, you know, like, cause I mean, they got to feed their family too. So like, don't take it personal, you know, and that goes to the same thing. Like when people come into my Whatnot shows, or if I buy from someone else, if they're firm on their price, and even if it's over comps, like I rarely ever give them a hard time, because it's like, because that's their business. That's what they, you know, like I told you before, like the card is on sale, but it's not on sale. Like, you know,
exactly.
Like, you know, it's not a sale price for right now.
And people don't a lot of people don't understand, like on Whatnot, you're paying almost, I think, what is it, 12%?
Yeah, it's
So
about 12, 13%, like after everything.
if you sell something at $200, you're not getting that
Yep.
$200. You're
Nope.
gonna,
Nope.
you
Yep.
know, I can't do the math because you know I'm bad at math.
Right. Well, all right. So let's. I was gonna say, let's keep it simple. Let's say you sell something. You sell something for $100, right? Like you're
It's
already at $87, like right off the bat,
yes.
because it's gonna take
Yep.
off 13%.
Yep.
So you sell a car that's $100, you're already at 87%, and then that's not counting like now you got to do like any kind of shipping supplies that you have. You know, you printing the label up from your we both highly recommend a thermal printer. Um, like
100%.
and you know and like if you're doing anything as a business, all that stuff costs money. So now you talk about like you sold $100 card, now you might be down to, just after the sale and packaging everything up, you might, let's just easy math, let's just say you're about $80, right? So you
Yep.
better hope you got that card, that $100 card, you better hope that you bought it for like $60, that way 60 or $70, that way you make a little bit of profit.
Yeah.
And I think what a lot of people go into this hobby is thinking like, oh, I'm going to make a crap ton of money, because you might be able to get lucky, like where you might get a card for like $10, and then that player blew up, and then you sold that card for $100. Like, oh crap, I made 90. But that's not every card.
Nope,
That is
not
every
every
card.
card at
Yeah,
all.
it's sports cards is not a get rich like quick scheme. Like
Nope.
it's a grind, and you gotta bite your tongue a lot of times, because sometimes you're just gonna lose out on a lot of cards.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
All right, so what are and like we're still kind of in the background section. So like, what are some lessons learned that you've like we'll get to the streaming tips later on, like, because next up we'll start talk about like your Whatnot streaming. But what are some lessons learned, like especially like with card shows? And man, I think we kind of already covered that, because you like the connection, like the interaction between the customer, because you're all about building relationships. And I'm the same way. Like you build a relationship, and then your community just grows. I mean, fucking use some content creating words like community, but it really is. Like,
it is.
Like we got our group of, like there's 4 of us in our main, our text chat that we all give each other shit for, but that's like our small circle right now. And then we meet other people, and then they, that's why we started that Facebook group, that way more people can kind of get involved. But all right, let's go with Whatnot streaming. So let's talk about the grind, because that is the biggest thing that you have to realize is being a sports card seller, especially on streaming or even at card shows or anywhere, is that the grind is real. And that's something that we probably both didn't know, like when we started this, until we actually started doing it.
The grind is real, and you're absolutely 100% right.
Yep.
And like, you're right. I did not expect it to be this tough, but they say, things don't come easy if it's worth it, right?
Yep.
So, I mean, it is worth it. You guys, a lot of people think that they're just going to jump on and also have, 100 followers in their room right off the bat. That's not, more likely that's not going to happen. Now, can you build up to that? Yes, but it's dedication. It's going on a lot, even if it's like smaller shows, pop-up shows and stuff like that. Just trying to stay consistent. Yeah. And meet people on there and get to know like people that come into your room, because making that connection and making your show fun. Like if you're just sitting there not talking, really not like trying to have fun with it, like people aren't going to come in and do business with you.
Your streaming rooms are a lot like mine. Some people just come in and hang out, and I'm cool with it. Like I don't expect anybody to buy anything. Like just hang out and especially because you started the NFC North show and everything. So like that brought in a lot of us together because like we all love trash talking each other.
Yep. and I
yeah.
love it. I love it because like the trash talk goes hand in hand with like football. Like when you're at games, you see people getting
exactly
trash talking. So I like that aspect of it. Now, can it get out of hand sometimes? Yeah, but
I hope it does. I hope it.
I hope it does.
Yes. Well, that's easy for me to say because I don't get offended by anything.
That
like I know, like
that's true.
That there are, and you're the same way. I don't think you get offended easily. Like no, I don't get offended easily, but there are people out there that do, and I know sometimes I should watch my mouth. But if they're a Green Bay fan, fuck them. I'm not. I will make up stories about that Chester the molester player. Just because fuck Green Bay. Yeah. Like I have to throw that in here on the show. It's just fuck Green Bay. Fuck.
PSA to GNG.
Right. Yeah. Right. And then Packers on top too, like that. Like I'm trying to learn more about him because I think he's like a teenager, but Packers on top, like that kid, he'll come to my show and I went to one of his shows. He starts everything on $1, but he's got banger cards. And
that's cool.
Like I think I'm pretty sure he's a teenager, so like his parents are doing him well, and he's probably he's probably making a lot back for their investment into him. And everything.
Yeah.
But so yeah, the grind is real, and that's why you'll see like sometimes when people like start this, like they're not around like as long as we've been doing it, like we've both been streaming for over a year now, and like there's some people that I don't see their shows anymore because I think they're like, you can't be. They don't want to continue to do the grind because it wasn't what they thought it was going to be.
Exactly.
I'm stubborn, and I think you're stubborn.
I'm very stubborn.
You're from Detroit and grew up on the streets of 8 Mile. Yeah, you're in the streets of 8 Mile. So like you're a fighter. You're a fighter like Rabbit. Like like Eminem. So you're not just gonna give in. You're gonna say fuck the free world.
Yeah. Fuck the free world. Yeah. 313.
Yeah.
No, and that is you're absolutely right. Like I am stubborn, and that's why I haven't stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all right. So you didn't when you started streaming, you obviously didn't have the NFC North show right away. So how did you come about thinking about the NFC North show, and how did that come about, that idea, and then making it happen?
So I first started doing just normal whatnot shows, right? And I noticed a lot of my buyers were people around me, like Michigan people. So I started doing an all Lions show when I first started. It was probably like a couple months after I started on Whatnot. And I started doing all Lions shows. And every time I would do an all Lions show, I would have Packers, Vikings, Bears fans coming in my show and trash talking the Lions. And I got to know a Vikings fan, and he actually suggested, why don't you do all 4 teams? So that is actually, it wasn't my initial thought, to be honest. Like I didn't come up with it. Another streamer said that to me, and I was like, that's a genius idea.
Yeah.
Like, and I took it and I ran with it, because then it would get all 4 teams in and the trash talking and having fun with it. And that's kind of how that stemmed.
And for a while there, when you first started doing the NFC North show, like, would you get more people in your show because of that show? Like, it was all strictly an NFC North show?
Yes. I was getting a lot of Packers, a lot of Vikings, a lot of, Bears and a lot of Detroit fans. And it was during
Right.
the
And then
season too.
you became yep, yeah, you became like for me, like for on whatnot, you became like, hey, this guy's gonna have my Bears players. And there's a big market, especially on whatnot, for the Midwest and like
Yes.
NFC North teams and everything. Because I mean, a lot of my sales go out like to Michigan, um,
Yep.
Illinois, Minnesota. Like a lot of the places that people buy from me, like I'm mailing to a lot of those areas and everything. So the Midwest has a huge presence on whatnot, which I was surprised about. And it could be also because like the times when we run, like we're not running at 1 or 2 in the morning where we're gonna catch all the West Coast people, right?
Yeah.
So I think
Yeah.
we'll get the East Coast and we'll get the East Coast people, and then we'll get the Midwest, and that's probably where most of the people see our shows. I have ran like late nights, like around 1 or 2. And I did start getting like West Coast people, but
Yep.
I think because of where we live and everything is why we're getting majority of those people. And like and at anybody that's an NFC North fan, if you're a fan of any of those teams, like we're all passionate about our teams, like because we're all stubborn as shit, and like all of our teams, honestly, all of our teams suck.
Hey, we're all
like
going up. We're all
right,
going
yes,
up.
we are all going up, but like as awful it is to say, Green Bay's been the best team in our division for a long
For a
time, and
long time.
that's why we all hate them.
Yep.
So but yeah, so like the NFC North show, I think it's a great environment. I always try to catch them when you have it, because I know that you're always going to find good Bears cards. I got a lot of my Walter Paytons through you and everything. And then I also like competing, because like if it's a Bears card I want, no one's outbidding me for it because I want it. Like
and that's I think that's why I like doing it so much, to hunt for new stuff too. Hunt for that, like that card that's going to grab someone that's a true fan, of that team. Like I'm searching for cards that I think, hey, like the Bears or the Packers are going to like think this card's cool.
Yep. Yeah.
And, want it for their self, or,
So that'll kind of go into the last topic I want to talk to you about, is like the streaming tips, like giving advice to people that are thinking about streaming and everything. But I want to touch on the point about how you saying, like, if you're a fan of a team and you want a card that someone is selling, you're willing to pay more for it because you want that card, because that's like your PC and everything.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I've learned in this is there are more flippers than collectors on whatnot, and probably now at card shows too. I'm sure card shows have probably like a good mix, but definitely at whatnot there's a lot more flippers than there are collectors. So when I get a collector in my show, they usually spend more money. They don't care about comps.
Yep.
Like they're willing to pay what they think the card's valued at, and they don't heckle you as much. They're not lowballing you. They'll pay pretty firm. So that's like one of the tips to let people know that I think is good to know. It's like, you're going to deal with a lot of flippers, and sometimes just be patient, because collectors will come around. And then especially once they get to know you and everything, I have a couple collectors, I have like someone who collects Drew Brees, and he'll always hit me up. It's like, hey, have you gotten any new Brees or anything? And then even, a lot of Bears people like will hit me up, because they want to buy some Bears stuff. What are some tips and advice that you give, like for streaming, like for whatnot? Like as far as like, if you're selling on whatnot, what is it like? How do you keep people engaged in your group? And what are some like do's and don'ts of that while you're streaming?
I'd say just be yourself.
Yep.
Be yourself, have fun with it.
Yep.
Don't take it personally if someone comes in and says something to you. There's going to be someone behind that keyboard.
Yep.
It's the internet. So someone's a keyboard warrior everywhere you go on the internet. Don't take offense to things. Let it slide off your back. You might be into a card, such and such money. And like me, I have a kid. I'd rather give my kid the card than take a huge loss on a card.
Yeah.
You know, be fair with people and and then you don't know, you might make that connection. They keep coming back, you know, it's be consistent, be fair, you know, have fun with whatnot. Don't take it so in the beginning, don't take it as a business. Grow with it.
Like learn the steps.
Yes.
Learn what works. So like I remember when I first started, like when I went to the card shop, I went to like to their dollar bin. And I was like, damn, like it's a Justin Jefferson rookie for $1. I'm like, they don't know what they got. So, and you know, me being new, I'm like, because playing fantasy football wise or just being a football fan, like Justin Jefferson, he's like a top 2 wide receiver, right? Him and Jamar Chase are it. So if you find their rookie card for $1, like, damn, I'm gonna make money off this card, right? But what I didn't realize was base cards, though, they don't sell worth shit, right? So that's what these cards were. They were base rookie cards, and in my mind, I'm like, oh, I'm going to be able to sell this card for like $10, and I'm buying it for $1. Well, when I started selling, like people don't want base cards, right?
Yeah.
So that's how I can kind of tell, like if someone's new at the hobby, they'll buy the name and not the card, right?
Yes.
And if you're a fan and a collector, that's great. But if you're a flipper, that is not. Like you have to look for, like, you do a really good job on your case hits. But just finding like anything of color, and I'm talking about cards, people, like, you know, like the green prisms or the silver prisms and everything, like not just the base cards. There is a market, and in future shows we'll talk about the market on base cards and grading and making money that way. But for the most part, you want to have like case hits, or because a lot of these guys are going to be flippers and everything.
Low numbered stuff.
Yeah, low numbered
stuff is a good thing to get, because like if they only make 25 of that card, you got one of them 25. So like
that's true. But another thing that we should let people know about is there are certain brands like Leaf and all that. They'll make a of 1 or of 25, but they have one of those in each color.
Yes.
You know, like they'll have of 25 in blue, of 25 in red. So kind of lessens, and which you and I both know, like Leaf sells less than like a 1 of 1 that came from Panini, right?
Exactly.
So,
exactly.
So that's another tip to know. Another thing to talk about people streaming. I'm not a music person. I don't like having music in the background. I try to have some kind of sports on in the background. That way it can generate conversation. Some of the rooms that I go in, if they have music and you really can't hear the person, like I'll leave those rooms because I don't want to hear music. So just be mindful of the people that are listening, right?
Yes.
So like if you do play rap songs from, what's the name of that group that has Third Leg Greg? What are they?
Seventh Floor Gang.
Seventh Floor Gang. So if you're playing songs like that, like kind of keep the volume a little bit down. That way you can still engage with your customers and everything. But definitely blast the part when Greg Olson comes in.
Yep. Like I did on the North Show the one time.
But,
or
like,
don't have your wife in the background yelling at you.
No, do have that, because that's very entertaining for us, especially. And I'm sorry to Mrs. Flinttown, but especially when she's telling the story about getting peed on.
Oh my
God! Don't worry, like five people will be listening to this podcast. So
I don't think so. I had a lot of people ask me to tell them when it drops. So
yeah. But that's by far one of the best stories. And maybe in the future we can get her on the show with you and have her explain that story for all the other listeners that don't know it. It was one of the few times where I see Flint gets embarrassed over what his wife is talking about.
Yeah, exactly. Normally it's the other way around.
Yes.
Normally
a lot of the
it's me.
times it's the other way around. But sometimes we need her there to translate for us.
That is
especially
true.
when you're reading names off the cards.
Hey, I can say some names, but
Yes, you
there
can.
are some names that I just look at and I'm like,
Yeah, but
I'm
the
not.
really hard names you're good at. Like it's just the easy ones that you stumble,
Yep.
which makes it even more entertaining. If watch like if when I meet Flint in person, he's good. He's probably like all this proper dude, says everything right. This is all a show for him. Just
No,
like
no,
to attract
I'm
people to
exactly,
like.
I'm exactly how you know me
He's
as.
like, oh, we buy from him because he's dyslexic. We're just trying to help him out. Like
Help my
that's
fund.
right. That's his game. That's his game plan. Like, yeah.
I
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good. Go ahead.
Yeah. No. Just I'm trying to think of some other tips for like new sellers. But you're right. Be yourself. I both of us we both try to be as transparent as possible. I do like showing comps of cards if I do have the comps. Like if I could find comps in certain cards, that way I could, give them like my mindset of why I'm selling things at a certain price or like what my beginning price is. Because I mean, like we dealt with all those. Like some people are just douchebags. Like there's certain
Yeah.
cards like because it's could be part of my PC, but
Yeah.
so I don't really want to sell it that I'll be over comps on. Or if I know because the market's about to go up, and like for me, Caleb, like I'm buying a crap ton of Caleb right now, like PSA 8s and PSA 9s, because if he starts the season hot, like his cards are going to skyrocket.
Yep.
And that'll be a good time to flip them. But explain that to people. Like I think the more transparent that you are, the more honest you are with things, like people gravitate towards that and they want to buy from you. And and then eventually like I'll give it, like if I'm really firm on a card for $300, maybe by the end of the show I'm like, all right, I'll sell for like 220. Just because I want to keep inventory going and trying to keep finding cards that people want, because eventually maybe like 1 out of every 20 people that come in our room, there actually are collectors, and they PC the cards, and I want to be able to give them something because my area might get certain cards that your area doesn't, or shit like that.
And that's how it look.
Yeah.
Exactly, like something that might be in your area, it might be a better card in my area.
Right.
You know?
Yep.
So
and I mean, maybe our mentality is the wrong approach, but we both feel better about ourselves. We both feel this is the right way of doing business and doing things for the hobby. I mean, you could be more cutthroat if you look at it more as a business, but I'm like in the same mindset as you. It's like, don't keep that business. Don't make it look like a business to people. Like enjoy it. And then I think if you continue to do things the right way, eventually good things will happen. The money will come in, like our both end goal. Like we're both in our 40s. So it's like, fuck, we don't want to work anymore. We just want to fucking do this and have this do it full time.
Yep. Hey, if I hit a certain number, I will.
Right. Yep.
But that's not for a long time coming. Most likely.
Yeah, same here. But and who knows? Maybe it'll never get to that point. But maybe we can get what we're doing to a point where when our kids get older, that they could take it over, and then maybe they could take the next steps with it.
And that's kind of why I started doing it. If my kid starts doing it, and we in general started the hard part, if they can take it even further, you never know.
Yeah, at the end of the day, both of us are dads first, right? So like we're parents first. And this is kind of something that I wish I had when I was growing up, like, because I'm trying to teach, because I got 5 kids. I got 3 teenagers and 2 littles. And the way technology is working now, like with AI and Chat GPT and all this crap, I want my kids to learn that aspect, because I want to be able to teach them like the financial side of this business. That way they can be entrepreneurs and they're not working for somebody like for 30, 40 years, that they can have a little bit of freedom and do, throw in technology into this sports card thing, and maybe they can figure it out and take it to the next level. But I think it also will teach them how to budget and everything, and how to deal with your finances, even if it's not the sports card, but at least they'll understand like how things work. I wish I had that growing up. But so that's what I'm kind of trying to teach the kids is like, hey, working hard but also being smart about things. And for them, they got technology that they could use. Like I bought a monthly membership to ChatGPT just to help me with like content creating and putting in my ideas into ChatGPT, and it gives me things like what I can do to capitalize on those ideas. So, and I think that's the future of sports cards, especially with comps and everything and trends. I think like AI is going to help with that.
That's a great idea. Great idea. What you were just saying too. And you're absolutely right. The technology nowadays and these young kids, you guys have way more avenues to make money too.
Yep.
Like when we grew up, we didn't have the internet. Like the internet was just starting to be a thing. Yep. Now you can make money content creating and all the other things, with sports cards. Like if we're just talking about sports cards, the content creating, the, doing whatnot to everything. There's so much avenues that you can go and make a living on doing something.
Yeah, I agree. Like there's so many different avenues. You can brand yourself in so many different ways. And like, for people that don't know, like Flint sells feet pics. So like he's using that money for sports cards.
Only feet.com.
If you want,
you guys want a feet pic? I'll give you a feet pic.
Yeah, if you want feet stickers, he'll make you feet stickers.
Yeah, like, what?
He'll make. Hey, he gives you.
Dad bod
flying
sends me
feet
this.
Stickers.
Like, Dad bod sends me this feet oil.
Yep, special feet oil.
No Diddy parties over here.
Right there you go. But Flint also sells stickers, and if you want feet, he'll make them for you.
I'll make. Hey, whatever the customer wants.
Yeah, exactly. We'll keep the customers happy. But hey, thank you for taking the time and doing this, and everything. How can people find you? Like what socials? Like give out your names on social.
So I got Instagram, I got TikTok, and I got whatnot. And it's here because I know it's going to be different because I had to use different
handles.
Flinttown Sportscards. Flinttown Sportscards, all one word. That's on TikTok. And then I had to do Flinttown. It's Flinttown _sportscards on Instagram. What are you laughing about? I don't even know my own.
I can see the processing. It's why
I'm looking at my phone. I'm looking at my phone. And then on whatnot, it's Flinttown _sportscards. So I had to do the underscore.
So if anybody wants to like and subscribe and follow him, those are his handles. I'll try to create something too and have it up at the end of this show. That way people can visually see it.
If you see this logo, you're in the right spot.
Yes, yeah. And he's gonna get more hats. He's definitely gonna get more hats.
And I got shirts coming.
And he's got shirts coming.
Yep.
So, yep.
It's all about branding.
It is. It's all about branding and the community and just doing it. That's like we understand. Like we are far away from making a crap ton of money doing this. So yeah, Hollywood
level.
Yeah, I mean he's closer than I am, but
whatever. No,
we're all doing our part. We're all doing our part to turning him into Hollywood Flint.
Oh, whatever.
All right, man. I appreciate the time that you took. And I'm definitely gonna have you on future podcasts and everything.
Yeah, I would love it. I got to get on my private jet plane and go talk to the Whatnot people at their location.
Yep. So
Sorry,
for
Hollywood.
what people don't know, that's code word that he's going to take feet pics now and post them on Only Feet.
No, I really do. I really appreciate you having me on, man. It was fun.
Yep. All right, man. I will talk to you later.
All right. Later.
Please subscribe to the Dad Bod Sports Card Podcast, because this hobby is more than cardboard. It's about community, and we're just getting started.